Okay, welcome everybody to today's interview with the founders of Krikey.ai. My name's Eleanor. My name is Eleanor Kellereva. I'm a product manager in Canva's ecosystem group. And I'd like to begin today by acknowledging that our offices are located on the country of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation and pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. I'd like to also extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people around Australia and First Nations people around New Zealand and around the world. Now over to my colleague Lucille.
Hi, so I'm Lucille. I'm an engineering manager at Canva. And what about you?
Thank you so much for having us. We are Team Krikey. My name is Jhanvi. I'm the CEO and one of the co-founders, and we can share our backgrounds. My background, I did my BA and MBA at Stanford, previously worked at YouTube before starting the company with my sister, and I'll have Ketaki introduce herself.
Yeah, just to echo that, thanks so much to the Canva ecosystem team for having us. I'm Ketaki. I'm the Chief Technology Officer here at Krikey. I received my BA, MA, and PhD at the Stanford Virtual Human Interaction Lab. My research is more on the technical side of 3D immersive world space. While there, I worked at Meta Quest VR and Google X on the Glass team, and then brought all that to Krikey, where I manage all things engineering, product, and design.
And our company is about 7 years old, and we build AI animation tools. And most recently, we built a Canva app, which brings part of our AI animation tools directly into Canva, which we're going to demo for you today as well. And I was told there are questions because we're not Australian. Why are we called Krikey? So we were actually here in 2016 on a trip when we were thinking about starting a company, starting to come up with the concept, and we had to pick a name and file our incorporation documents. And so we ended up picking the name Krikey. We heard it a lot while we were traveling, and it's an expression of awe or excitement that we hope people feel when they try our products for the first time.
Awesome, thank you so much. And it's very good to hear about the name. And how did you get into building a startup together?
Well, we are sisters, so we found, when people ask, how did you find your co-founder? We found each other at birth, but we were also actually in school around the same time, graduating the same year, and so we were starting to think about where could we go where we could actually work together. So we were looking at applying to big tech companies, applying to startups together, but there's never any guarantee when you apply to a job that A, you're going to get it, and B, that you get to work together. So we thought, well, if we're both going to graduate at the same time, maybe we could start something at the same time, and so that's how we ended up thinking of starting a business together.
That's a good story. So, well, now it's time for demo. So if you want to show us your project, we will be really interested.
Today we're going to show you our Canva app integration and then also explain how it sort of connects to our main product. So I'll actually start by coming over here. And the way our Canva app works, it's called Krikey.ai Animate. And first, I just want to say thanks again to the entire Canva ecosystem team and to AWS for making this possible. When we first found out that we could build an integration with Canva, we were so excited. We've been Canva users for years, and we make all of our social media content inside of Canva.
And also our pitch deck for the startups.
Yeah. And for months, Jhanvi had been asking me, is there a way to bring our AI animation process into Canva so that I can just make all the social media graphics without having to create them in our tool, download them, and then upload them to Canva. So when we found out we could actually bring our tech into Canva, it was incredibly exciting. And so the way the app works is you can choose an avatar, select from a list of AI animations, type in whatever you'd like your character to say, and then choose a language, accent, and specific voice. And then in just minutes, we'll generate a high-quality video that you can add to any of your Canva designs. And I'll actually play back a couple of examples in different languages. So this is a travel advertisement in Japanese.
美しい日本へ一緒に旅しましょう.
This is a food ad for samosas.
समोसा इतना अच्छा है कि यह जादू जैसा है.
And this is a gaming competition ad.
Você está pronto para a melhor competição de jogos em maio?
So you can see that in each of these examples, it's different avatars, different languages, and different animations. And I did it all using the Krikey.ai Animate app. You can also make lesson plans as well.
Good morning, class. Today's lesson is on movement of the axial skeleton.
Love the skeleton. That's actually my favorite character. And there's a few more examples that I'll quickly run through as well.
Happy birthday, Melanie. Hope you have a great celebration today.
So this is in the website that we created. We've actually used this in our pitch decks before. This is the same skeleton. I'll just show one more here.
नृत्य कैसे करें सीखने के लिए हमारे हिप हॉप वीडियो देखें.
Oh, sorry, I think that one didn't come through. This is Yeah, and then I'll go back to our main tool now. So this is what the main Krikey.ai animation tool looks like. And I actually created a special demo for the ecosystem team that I'll play back and then explain how I created it.
Hey Canva team! Welcome to our AI animation tool. You can use our tool to create social media content, animated films, and more. We are excited to have an integration with Canva. Thanks for checking out the Krikey.ai animation maker.
So that's a super quick video that I made. It took me less than 5 minutes to create this. I did it all inside of the Krikey editor. Everything in our tool actually starts with templates, which is this tab here. So we have hundreds of templates sorted by different categories. And I actually use a template to get started. So that gives me a 3D background, camera angles, camera motions, dialogue, and an avatar. And then I can quickly customize each of those. We do have the biggest animation library of 3D motion anywhere in the world. So there's thousands of animations that we created using our AI foundation model, which you can use directly from our library. It's really easy. You just click to add them to the timeline, drag to overlap them, and then if you don't want one, easy to delete it. We also have a number of different camera angles and camera motions. You can single click to add these to the timeline, and then it's quite easy to kind of zoom in and zoom out and change the angles accordingly. We also have thousands of 3D environments. I used an Earth Day one because I wanted more of a natural look, but there's many other options as well. And this is actually my favorite part. So you can change the avatar inside the tool. We have a lot of different avatar customization options. So these are the avatars that I've customized, but you can make many different kinds of avatars based on what you're interested in. And then you can also change the lighting, the facial expressions, hand gestures, add text, change the color settings. And then you can also AI generate scripts. So I actually AI generated the script that the avatar just spoke. I prompted the tool. We do support 100 languages for both text and audio speech as well. Once I have my script, I can convert it to audio in 100 languages. And I can also AI generate music from a text prompt as well. And once you've created your content, you can quickly export it from the Krikey tool in any aspect ratio. If you're an animator or a 3D creator, you can actually also download the character file, FBX or GLB file, and take it into Maya or Blender, any of these other 3D tools that it's compatible with. And that's a quick overview of what we do at Krikey, and just wanted to say thanks again to the entire Canva ecosystem team. We're really excited to be here today.
Super nice demo. Thank you so much. So what did you enjoy most building your product?
Well, we started in a very different place than what you saw just now. So we actually started 7 years ago as a mobile gaming company, and we built mobile games with augmented reality features, and we did that for about 5 years. It had a lot of success in India, so we grew really quickly in that market, especially during the pandemic when people were at home playing mobile games. But just over a year ago, we started to get a lot of inquiries from people saying, hey, we're a small business, could you help us animate this character? Or we're a gaming company, can you animate all these characters for our game? And we realized, yes, we could animate those characters, but we didn't want to be a dev shop, and we wanted to be able to scale the help that we could offer other people. So we realized if we just pulled out our animation tool set, that could actually become a product in and of itself with a much bigger market than just being a gaming company. So we ended up pivoting our business, and we moved from being a mobile gaming company to building AI animation tools, and that is what we do exclusively now, which helps us empower more people at a broader set of possibilities. So we're not just serving gaming companies or gaming customers. Now, through Canva, we can actually help teachers build lesson plans, or students do book reports with animated characters. People make birthday cards and all sorts of things. And it's really the idea of empowering anyone to animate a 3D character. Most of the tools on the market today are really complicated, technically complicated. You need to know how to code or program. And so it's very difficult to get over the barrier of actually creating something with 3D animation. So our intention, our mission is to help empower anyone to animate.
Yeah, that seems very aligned with Canva's goal of empowering the world to design. So it's great to be able to bring tools like yours to our audience and help them create more interesting, engaging assets and designs. So what got you interested in building an app on Canva?
Well, as Ketaki mentioned, we are first big Canva users ourselves, so we use it for all things design, from social media and marketing to building out our pitch deck as a startup. So we love using the product, and I, at some point, because we're a very small team and I do all of the social media and marketing and making the pitch deck, I was busy downloading things from our tool and then manually uploading them into Canva, and it was just taking me so long. So I went to our engineering team and I said, hey, could you build me a direct connection with Canva, because this is really, really slow. So we started to poke around and explore and realized that there was actually something called a Canva app. And we ended up talking to our account manager at Amazon to learn a little bit more about this new concept we had heard of. And that's the short story of how we got connected through Amazon to Canva and ended up building this app. First, being a user ourselves and being our own first customer. And then, of course, very happy that others are finding value in it as well.
And what kind of traction have you seen? What kind of traction have you seen so far with your Canva app?
Well, we just got featured for the first time, so thank you, Canva, for doing that last weekend. And in a day, the traffic to our site went up 23x. So that was absolutely insane. Really meaningful impact to our business. So thank you very much for doing that. We also, even though we were a mobile gaming company previously, we made the decision not to build an iOS and an Android app for our current product. And so all of the traffic we were getting to our site off of mobile, we were actually losing. But once we built the Canva app integration, we actually redirect all that traffic to Canva. So that's about 20% of the traffic we get as a small business is going back to Canva, which is great for us because now we don't lose those users. Previously, they would get a sign that said, oh, sorry, we don't have a mobile app, and that would be the end of the road for that user. But now we can actually say, hey, come check out our Canva app on mobile, and if they really like it, they might come back to us on desktop, which a few people have, and that's helped with subscription conversion. So retaining the mobile user has been a really big part of our Canva strategy, reasoning for being in the app marketplace as well.
Yeah, great.
And I would actually just add to that, for any developer out there who's wondering, should I build a Canva app? I think this story of mobile traffic for us is a big reason why all startups should consider building a Canva application. As a startup, we're always thinking about time to market and efficiency. So how do we put out an MVP as quickly as possible? And for us to build our own mobile app, it would be a huge time investment, a huge engineering investment. But to be able to build a Canva app that works on web and on mobile right away, that's a huge time saver for us, and we still can win some of those customers back. So for anyone who's thinking about building a Canva app, that alone is a great reason to do so.
Yeah, great. And how have you found the conversions of that traffic? So like once people try it out in the Canva app, do people then go on to subscribe? Have you seen revenue increase as well?
Yes, so we've actually definitely seen people who come try out the Canva version of our app, then come check us out at Krikey.ai and then become a subscriber. So that funnel has been pretty meaningful as well. And I think, as you just saw, there's some features that are available in the Canva app and then others available on our website. So kind of gating it that way has been helpful in terms of motivating people to come to our product as well. One suggestion that the Canva team made to us early on was, hey, instead of one free generation, give people 5 free generations. And that actually drove up our traffic within Canva by 2x. And so that was also really helpful. And I think we just made that change recently, so we'll see over time how that impacts the full down funnel conversion. But I think just the more people that start to experience our product in Canva, the more brand awareness there is for us outside as well.
Yeah, and that just showcases the value of partnering with Canva for a early stage startup, that it's very hard building brand awareness and building community on your own, and by building an app on Canva, you can access 150 million users right away. Yeah, Lucille, did you have any questions?
Yes, well, we're talking about maybe help from Canva, and you've been talking about building the app. Can you let us know how it was to start building the app?
Yeah, definitely. I actually wanted to jump off of something that was just said about the Canva ecosystem team giving us feedback. I think for us, one of the best parts of the app review and app creation process was how involved the ecosystem team was. Having been mobile developers previously, we expected to get sort of a cursory one-line, approved or not approved message. But instead, we got this amazing Canva document that was 3 pages of ideas and questions and feedback and suggestions. And we really appreciated that time investment. And for us as a small team, we often don't have time to think through and implement all of the interaction design components, like small animations or all of the error states. But working with the Canva ecosystem team on our app, we were able to actually go through and implement every single one of those for this particular integration. And that was a great learning experience for us for our main product of, hey, some of these animations or error states that we think are minor are actually quite important to having a robust user experience. So to me, that was a highlight of the whole process, was getting the feedback and really being able to work so closely with the Canva team.
That's great to hear. What kind of API have you used?
So we use the video import and authentication APIs, and I think what's very interesting to us about the Canva APIs is that we use them for a very specific use case. We wanted to take our animations and make them into videos, and then we want people to sign up inside of Canva for our product. But with the way these APIs are designed, there's millions of possible use cases and applications for them, and I think that type of open-ended design is really great because it allows developers who have any idea to come in and kind of mold the APIs to exactly what they want. And we also found the developer community forum very helpful in that respect. So lots of people are building apps across many different categories, but we often ask similar questions. And so when we did have API questions, we would just go to the forum. And oftentimes when you have a question, someone else has already asked it. And so that forum has been really helpful for us in speeding up our development cycle. From start to finish, it took us about 12 weeks to build our Canva app. And I think it would have been a lot longer had we not had the developer forum and if we didn't have the ability to ask the Canva team questions directly. So having both of those resources was really helpful.
Cool, thank you. Can you tell us a little bit more about how the animations themselves are generated?
Yeah, for sure. So we have our own foundation model. There's actually two foundation models. So one takes video inputs, so you can upload a video and we'll convert those 2D motion vectors into 3D animation. And then the second model is text to animation, so you can enter in text prompts and we'll run inference against those words and produce 3D motion vectors on a humanoid character rig that matches most closely to what you put in. The way that's built inside of our main tool is all on AWS. We have some EC2 instances and a custom inference pipeline. And one of the challenges for us was how do we take that type of technology and bring it to someone else's tech stack? And I think initially we were a little bit nervous about doing that. This was actually our first third-party integration that we'd ever done with our product. But having the Canva APIs and all the design guidelines for the front end kind of pushed us in the right direction in terms of how do we take a very complicated concept, generating 3D animation, and make it accessible to consumers who maybe don't know anything about this topic. And so we are still using some of our own APIs and our inference methods as part of our Canva process, but we've been able to package them in such a way that customers who come to our app inside of Canva don't actually need any technical knowledge to generate 3D animations. And we've actually been able to take some of those lessons that we learned from building the Canva app and apply them to the UI UX flows in our main tool as well.
And do you have any tips for developers who want to build an app on Canva?
Well, first, I would say you should definitely do it because, well, for multiple reasons. The two biggest ones for us were, one, we don't have a mobile product, so as we said earlier, having a place to direct our mobile traffic has been really helpful. And then I think the second thing is if you have a product idea and you want to prototype something and try it out, if we had been in that position where we didn't yet have our main tool created, we absolutely would have started with a Canva app because it's a great way to put an idea out there that's well designed because you have these amazing, robust design guidelines and try it out with engaged customers and see if there could be product market fit. And then if there is, you already have customers that are using your product. It's much easier now to kind of guide them to using a larger version of it or building out kind of a main tool or a main interface. So I see it as a great starting point for any company that's kind of just getting started with their product.
And just to share an anecdote of that as well, it's sort of been a really great user testing ground for us. We do separate user testing too, but we found just recently that the Canva app we showed you, the interface, was such a great onboarding tool that we are actually adding it to our main product as well. So I think that was a really interesting point of feedback from our Canva users, that they enjoyed this experience so much that they also wanted the equivalent experience inside the main tool, along with all the other complex choices that they have. So I think that those sorts of small findings are really helpful, and the only place we can get them is Canva, where we actually have real motivated, intentional users coming to try out the product, and we're able to see what they're creating and wanting with it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like, it's really great to hear that you even adapted the project thanks to Canva, so thank you. Elena, do you have more questions?
Yeah, that was so great to hear that it sounds like it's really sped up your development process as well as your go-to-market process by being able to build on Canva's platform, and like potentially for even earlier startups that don't have a product launched yet, it could be even faster savings and like even faster go-to-market. So yeah, it's great to get that feedback. I was curious also regarding AI founders in particular. Do you have any tips for them in getting started building with Canva? What would be a good starting point for them to engage with our ecosystem?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think for us, one of the biggest takeaways is that even if you have this incredible foundation model that can do awesome things with Gen AI, it's not really enough to bring consumers to your product. You have to show the consumer value and how it's going to integrate with processes that they're already doing every day. And so having an app on Canva helps you kind of build that scaffolding and understand what use cases are there really for your product, and how do you design your tool in such a way that people will actually be able to use it. And I think especially for Gen AI companies that are going after a broader consumer goal, the scaffolding around your foundation model or your AI feature is everything. It's not just enough to have interesting AI outputs, you have to teach people how to use them. And so I think building a Canva app will kind of teach developers what are the appropriate design guidelines and user flows to really get users to leverage this interesting technology.
Yeah, AI is moving so fast at the moment that it can be quite overwhelming for users to keep up with the vast array of AI tools out there. So for an AI founder, going where your users already are, where they're already looking for tools that will help them add new types of animations, new types of content, that certainly sounds like it's worked out well for you.
Yes, and I think we've started to see use cases we didn't even imagine because people can come and combine it with Canva's design tools to create something meaningful and impactful for their personal context. And so that's been really great to see, as well as the expansion of use cases from what we originally envisioned.
What are some of the top use cases you're seeing for your tool?
Definitely education. That's been probably the top one. Teachers do email us as well with special requests, but I think teachers using it for animated lesson plans, whether that's for a history class or a language class because the avatars can speak multiple languages, students using it for book reports. I think those are probably the two top types of use cases that we've been seeing.
Yeah, that's really interesting, and there's definitely a large education community of users on Canva, so for anyone who's interested in reaching that market, that's a good opportunity, building a Canva app to get in front of that audience.
And I think the other thing we've been trying to do, which going back to your question about advice for developers, is to keep your app fresh. So we try to bring in seasonal characters. So we have the skeleton for Halloween or the elf for the holiday season, swapping out the animations, because it's so easy as a developer to say, oh, I've made my Canva app, put it on the shelf, it's done. But I think obviously both for the benefit of Canva, the users, for the developer themselves, you want to be able to keep it fresh. And so I think that's certainly something going forward that we'll always be thinking about, but I think is also beneficial for the ecosystem team as you're thinking, how to keep developers engaged once they've built their app.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And it sounds like you've certainly been engaging a lot with the team, like asking questions on the forums and reading other people's questions as well, and engaging with the team throughout the review process as well. So it's great to hear that you found that valuable.
Yeah, definitely. I just want to reiterate, I think that the level of care in the feedback process from Canva is remarkable. We've been through many different feedback processes for mobile development, and I think this is the only time where we've actually received a lot of meaningful product feedback. And to us, it really feels like a collaboration with Canva. Like we're not just uploading an app and then walking away. Like this is really a partnership, and that's something that we appreciate. And that's actually one reason why we would recommend to all developers to at least consider this process, because they'll learn a lot from just being in the flow and getting feedback from the Canva team.
I think that's something that's especially valuable for startup founders, and especially in a field that's so new, like AI for content creation. Because as a founder, you might be working in a very small team. You might not get feedback from experienced people in the industry that often. Yeah, that's something that we're really are very keen to provide. Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you add that to what you were saying about the mobile and how all your traffic for mobile was coming from Canva. Yeah, so this is really valuable for you.
Yeah, and I think the opening of the Canva Design Guidelines to developers is also really generous, like understanding how Canva designs your product and applying that to developer apps. You don't get that kind of insight every day as a startup founder, and so to understand what are the guiding design principles for a very successful product is extremely helpful for small companies to kind of shape their own product journey.
So what next for Krikey.ai? What are you planning to work on coming up, both for your Canva app and for the broader product?
Definitely for Canva, we're of course going to continue to keep the existing app fresh, but are also really thinking about how can we sort of build a deeper partnership with the team, think of bringing some of the other features from our main product into the Canva experience. And if anyone is interested, we're always happy to talk to other folks at Canva. On the Krikey front, so on our side, we are working closely with Amazon to bring an enterprise version of our tool to market. So companies can train their own animation model, and this will be a B2B service offered through the AWS Marketplace. And I don't know, Ketaki, if you want to share any more on that.
Yeah, we have 2 different enterprise offerings coming to the AWS Marketplace. So one is specific for educators. So schools can buy batch licenses for our AI animation tool and no-code editor, and then anyone at the school can use them. And then the second product is more for big enterprises that have large data sets of video that they want to convert to animation. They can use our foundation model via Amazon SageMaker to run that inference, and then all those animations will be in their billing instance private, and they get full access to a private version of our editor. And I think really more broadly, our goal is to continue to refine our AI animation tool to empower anyone to create high quality animations. We're really kind of day zero here when it comes to 3D AI animation. It's a very niche space, and we're still learning how to refine the technology. So I think that's something that we're excited about.
Yeah, that's great. Looking forward to hearing how it goes over the next few years, and it's been fantastic to hear your story. Thank you so much for coming along and speaking to us today. And please give a big round of applause to Jhanvi and Ketaki.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you so
Really
much.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Give you one more night,